Welcome gamers, welcome back to Gamers Bay, it's Daniel, and today we're going to take a look at a really cool arcade shoot 'em up from back in 2004 from Cave called Mushihimesama, which translates in Japanese to Bug Princess. And so the first thing to really note about this graphically inspiring insect-themed arcade shoot 'em up is that it's loaded with arthropods galore. Players battle it out against hordes of giant insects, including an assortment of beetles, crickets, spiders, caterpillars, moths, butterflies, and more. And all of the game stages all depict natural environments, including lush green forests, a desert landscape, there's one with caves and cliffs, and there's even a volcano-themed stage with flowing lava pits that look incredibly cool. And so now, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the game's storyline. So the game's story follows the lead protagonist, Reco, in a bid to put a stop to the giant insects known as Koujuu, whose life force called the Levi-Sense, or Miasma, which is poisonous to humans, has wreaked havoc on Reco's village known as Hoshifuri. Now it's said that Reco's village is the only one left in existence who's managed to survive the poisonous bug's life force, and at the cost of sacrificing a girl once every 200 years. Now Reco realizes that she's next in line to be sacrificed, and unless something is done to put a stop to the Koujuu once and for all, it will be the end of her life, her village, and her people as she knows it. Then a mysterious boy emerges from the Koujuu forest, handing Reco an ornate bracelet with magical telepathic powers. After receiving the bracelet, Reco enters the Koujuu forest riding a golden Koujuu beetle known as Kinero, which she will use to fight off the poisonous life force and return peace back to her village once and for all. And so the game sports 3 difficulty levels, including original, manic, and ultra game modes. Now, all levels are quite difficult, to be honest, and even at the easiest difficulty level appears to be quite challenging. Now, the game also has 3 separate shot types to choose from, including M, W, and S shot types, each with their own unique shooting styles, as well as advantages and disadvantages. For instance, the M shot is the more balanced of the 3, while the W shot type is a little bit slower, but with a wider spread of fire, and you can hit more enemies with a single shot. And then there's the S-type shot, which is a lot narrower, but it's a lot more powerful, and it inflicts a lot more damage. Now, besides the standard shot attack, you also get a bomb attack as well, which is best utilized during boss battles with the larger insects. Now, when the enemy insects die, they leave these like amber gems behind, and picking up those gems after the bugs have been defeated increases your score. And something else to know about this game is that outside of the arcade, this is the original arcade version here, there were numerous home console ports, as well as on mobile. You had, I think there was a port on iOS, Nintendo Switch, PS2, Xbox 360, and Windows PCs, among others. You can actually find the game on Steam, and to be honest, I really like the original arcade version the best as far as the graphics go, but you're going to get a few more features. There's a few extra modes of play with the console and PC versions that you're not going to get with the arcade version. So, but you can find the game on Steam, and that we're actually going to put a link below in the description so you guys can find that. And anyways, that is Mushihimesama. What did you think about this game? Have you played this before? Kind of a different bit of a twist for an arcade shoot 'em up. You know, we look at a lot of classic shoot 'em ups, they a lot of them have like, you know, either a military theme, a mech theme, or something else going on, or they're a war theme, like World War II. You know, like you saw with the Geigeling type games, stuff like that. So anyways, what did you think about this game? Let me know in the comments below. I am going to go ahead and tune out now, but I'm going to continue to play through the game, and you are totally welcome to continue to watch. And until next time, take care.
洞窟なのに明るいんだ。 がする。
やあ、よく来てくれたね。 かった。